a few names, players who are potentially close to returning. I've got Pedro, O'Reilly, Minter, March, Dunk. Any likely to return this weekend?
Yeah, some of them for sure will return. So I think especially João Pedro, Matt O'Reilly, they have a big chance with Mite and Lewis Dunk. We have to see it the next days, and for Solly it's too early.
And Yassin Ayari, did he pick up a knock as well? How's he?
Yeah, he will train today, so I think he might be an option for the weekend.
And looking back on Liverpool, do you feel an opportunity missed there still, on reflection?
Yeah, for sure, it was a big opportunity, and I think it's very important that we know what's about in football. In the end, it's about result, and we don't get any points for good performances. So of course, I'm sure long term, when you focus on the process, when you play good, you get the results you deserve. Because I always think when you play with courage, when you defend good, long term, you will get paid for that. And the second thing, and that's finding the balance. In the end, football is a game of results, so you need results. I think it's important that we also understand it's not only about playing good football, having good performances. It's about winning games, and we have ambitions, and our club has ambitions, and we should be very disappointed if you also travel to Liverpool and don't manage to win the game after this performance. So it should be also an overthinking or a change of our mindset in cases of what we want to achieve, and how we feedback the players after games like this.
Is that something you're looking to improve then going forward, closing out those close games?
Yeah, for sure. I think it has something to do with game management. It has something to do with being ruthless. I think when you don't make the second goal or the third goal, then you have to be more ruthless in defending the own box. When you don't kill the opponent in the opponent's box, so there are always options to win this game. It's also very important in an atmosphere, in a wild environment, to stay calm, to still continue playing your style of play, and don't change your style of play only because the crowd is there or the intensity from the opponent is higher. It's still about finding solutions. It's still about stay playing your style of play, and I think there we can improve.
After 10 games into the season, your first season, you're 8th. You may feel perhaps you could be higher, but when you look at the fixtures coming up and the teams you've already played, do you feel positive about the position you are in going forward?
Yeah, that's what I try to say. It's like on the one side, I think we can be happy about the performances, how we play, the style of play, how we develop. On the other side, I think when we look at the results, of course, we could have more points, and there we have to find a good balance between playing a good style of play and getting the results for this style of play. So on the one side, happy, yes. On the other side, there are still like things we can improve, especially about the game management, how to win the games, maybe in an ugly way, how to win the games in an efficient way, and there we are still in a process, and that's why, like I said from the beginning, there are the positive, negative things, and we try to build like an environment here, an atmosphere where the players can improve, not only individually, also as a group, and also in these things we talk a lot about nowadays, about tactical things, but in the end it's also about managing a game the right way.
Manchester City, obviously a formidable opponent, but they are on a rare run of defeats for them. Do you sense an opportunity here?
I think against every team there are opportunities in the league. I think especially this season the league is so equal. It's very, very competitive. Everyone can beat everyone, and we see it weekend for weekend, and that's why we always see an opportunity. We always see a chance. Of course, we have a lot of respect because City is, for me, still the best team in the world. They have the best manager in the world, but in the end, it's a game, and we play at home, and we want to continue our process, and we see this as a next opportunity to challenge the establishment.
Is the fact that you've gone close with the top team so far this season, does that help the players in terms of confidence, maybe reduce the aura that City would have coming here?
It should change because, like I said, we have ambitions, and I don't want to be recognized or want to be seen as the small Brighton or Albion club. It's more that we have a big potential in our squad. We have a great leadership in the club. We have great staff members. We have a good atmosphere, a good environment, and in football it's about achieving things, and that's why we shouldn't hide. We shouldn't be afraid of anyone. We should play with self-confidence, and we should also put pressure on ourselves, because in the end we want to achieve something, and if we don't achieve the victories in the games, we failed, and that's the truth, and that's why we have to be also hard to ourselves and demand the best from ourselves, and these games like City and Liverpool are the best challenges for us.
Thank you.
How big are you encouraging your players to think then, to dream? Are you you're obviously not putting a ceiling on it, but what are you encouraging them to dream of?
It's not about dreaming, it's about like having clear goals and orientation points that promise yourself never to give up, and that promise yourself to be every day the best version of yourself. And I think it's so important to have a clear vision. It's so important to have individual goals, team goals, because these give you always like orientations where you want to go, and that's why it's not about dreaming. It's a process, is always going step by step, and in a process you will fail. In a process you will have success. It's always an up and down, but in general the line should go always up, but it won't be always linear. It's always like in waves. So there, like I said, there are bad experience, there are good experience, but in the end we should make the next step, and we should grow as a team and individuals. But I don't want to talk about like having dreams. It's more like having clear goals and visions where to go.
So as far as team goals, the main focus is always just one game at a time, but do you also set the season into blocks? Do you do between international breaks? How do you set those goals?
It's more for myself. Of course, we in a coaching staff, we reflect ourselves, and especially in the blocks from international break to international break, you have time to reanalyze the last weeks, to reflect the decisions you made, to reflect also development from the individual players. So it's more for us as a coaching team, and like you said, for the team, and for the players, it's really like being focused on the process, and being focused on the process means going game for game. And of course, the vision is always there, but it's the daily business you have to win, and that's why there we try to really focus on every day and to be in the present and not in the future or the past.
You did look to the future in your first press conference up there, where you said you were most looking forward to meeting Pep Guardiola. I imagine you were purely thinking about playing up against him in a game, but have you until now had a chance to chat with him at a managers meeting, anything like that? Have you had that first meeting?
No, so it will be the first time I will meet him on Saturday, and of course I'm looking forward to meet him, because like I said, I think he's one of the best managers in the world. His achievements in the past are impressive, but like I said, it's not a game between me and him. In the end, it's a football game for Brighton or Albion, and we want to win this football game. So it's nice to meet him, but it would be much nicer to meet him and to beat him.
I know it's not about you, but on a personal level, as much as you want to treat every game the same, and you know you can beat every opponent, has it felt any different to you that the guy that you rate as the best in the world, you're going to be up against him at the weekend? Has it felt any different to you?
Not yet. So, of course, I followed him because he was also coach of the club I played for a long time, so for Bayern Munich, and I saw him coaching. I saw his achievement in Germany already, so of course maybe you follow him more than other coaches. And like I said, he has a big impact, or he had already a big impact in Germany when he integrated like the inverted fullback. So I think it was his idea what he implemented in Germany the first time, and that's why he's a role model for sure. But in the end, you always have to go your own way, and you always have to keep pushing your own style of play and keep trying to develop your own things, your own elements. But in the end, I would be stubborn if I wouldn't look at his games and his achievements in the past, because I think every young coach can learn from the good coach, from the old coaches, not old coaches, but coaches who are already long in the business and who achieved great things. And it's not only Pep Guardiola, it's also, like I said, the German coaches like Klopp, Tuchel. I followed coaches like Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, who had great achievements here. So it's about being open for new ideas. It's about recognizing what made them so successful, and then it's about overthinking yourself if these elements from them are helpful for my style of play. But in the end, you can't be artificial. You always have to be authentic, and that's the most important point.
One more on you, if I may. When Pep was at Bayern and you were there as well, had you started thinking about coaching? Were you looking at what he was doing in terms of things that you could take already?
Yeah, I also try to remember back these days when I answered the question before, but I think, yes, he had an impact for sure. In general, he had a big impact in Germany in these times. Some of them in Germany said it was a bad impact because everyone tried to copy him. Some of them said he has a great impact because everyone tried to play his style. But in the end, yes, he had an impact for sure. But like I said, you always need to try to push your own style of play, and you can't copy anyone else, because in the end, if you want to copy someone, you always one step behind. And that's a thing what is very important for me. I don't want to be a step behind. I always try to push myself, try to improve the players, try to have own ideas. But again, it's repetition. It's important for young coaches like me to see different elements from other clubs, and especially them who were so successful.
Thanks, Fabian.
Fabian, in your midfield at the weekend you had Yassin Ayari, Jack Hinchelwood, and you've got Carlos Baliba as well. How impressed have you been by the way that the youngsters, they're relatively young in their careers, have stepped up to play at the elite level?
Yeah, for me and also for the club, that's exactly the way we want to work here in this club. And for me, it's not about the age; it's about being good or not being good. And I think the players on the pitch, they deserve to play, and they also want to play. And now it's about treating them also like, not like young players, because in the end we also need to win games. So especially when we talk about the game management in the midfield, they can change the dynamic of the game, they can change the rhythm of the game, and they can break also the dynamic from the opponent. So when we look back for the game against Liverpool, they played an amazing first half, and then in the second half I think they also get a little bit attracted by the intensity and the atmosphere. And especially in these moments, I demand from these players, even when they are young, to ask for the ball, to demand for the ball, to still continue playing with courage. And that's the way we want to help them, and that's the way they also improve, especially in these moments when it's tough, when it's a wild environment, to show personality, to still ask for the ball, and don't be afraid of making mistakes, because in the end football is a game of mistakes. If you don't do any mistake, there won't happen any goals. And that's why I want that these players play with courage, that these players play with freedom in their mind, and it's so important that they're allowed to do mistakes. But exactly that's what we want here in the club, trying to develop young players, trying to give young players the chance, but they need to deserve it every day in training.
Later today they're going to announce a new England squad. Jack Hinchelwood's been involved with England's under-21s. Do you think he has the game to go on and become a senior international?
Yes. I think in understanding the game, in recognizing the spaces, in finding the right angle to the teammate, having the first touch, having good passing, I think he's already one of the best. And now it's about consistency, showing these actions 90 minutes and not only phases of the game, and there we try to help him, but what he's doing so far is impressive, and he will be for sure a big part of the future of this club, and hopefully also for the English national team. So I will call Thomas and give him advice about this player.
Another player, Simon Adingra, came on at Liverpool, seemed to have an impact late on. Was it a reminder of what he's capable of and what role he can play for you this season?
I think I don't need this reminder because I see him every day in training, and I just said to him that I'm really happy how he works every day on the pitch, and I'm really happy about his performances. Of course, there's a big competition with Carew, with Minte, with Kruder, with Solly when he comes back. But exactly this competition is what he needs to improve, and we try to help him. But like I said, he's doing well so far, and I'm sure he will get a lot of game time in the season.
Just one on Manchester City. Obviously, it's a difficult period for them, but in Erling Haaland they have an excellent striker who hasn't scored for a while. Is that a little bit ominous? How do you go about contending with someone like him?
Yeah, it's difficult to defend him in 1-against-1 situation. So it's always like a togetherness of defending against him. Don't let him go 1-against-1. Don't let him be 1-against-1, especially in box defending. So he's an unbelievable striker. He's a goal machine, and I think every striker has like bad periods and bad phases, and every striker gets judged by the goals. And I think he's still one of the best strikers in the league and in the world. So I think we shouldn't be blended by the bad period from him, and should focus to defend him together.